What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Olympic bronze medalist, former WBC American Heavyweight World Champion, superstar boxer, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. 42 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. 41 big wins by way of knockout. He is 36 years of age, 6'7", with a 83-inch arm reach. With that said, Deontay Wilder, he did an interview, shouts out to 7 Sports TV. He did an interview today in which he discussed and announced that he will be back in the ring to showcase his talents before the year is up, okay? We are in July right now, so Deontay Wilder, he announced that before the year is up, he'll be back in the squared circle, right? And, you know, he said it's going to be a huge fight and a huge event, right? And so with that said, he was also asked about a possible showdown with two-time unified heavyweight world champion, British superstar boxer, Anthony Joshua, right? At one point in time, that was the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder for undisputed, okay? Now, that has since taken a hit because Deontay Wilder, he has 2 losses in the trilogy with now undefeated 3-time heavyweight world champion, British superstar boxer, Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, okay? And Anthony Joshua, he lost, and a shocking loss, to Andy Ruiz Jr., the former unified heavyweight world champion, Mexican superstar boxer. He lost to him getting dropped 4 times and ultimately stopped in the 7th round. Okay, Deontay Wilder was stopped in his last fight, you know, his last 2 fights with Tyson Fury. Okay, so at one point in time, Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder was the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. Okay, one of the most highly anticipated fights in the sport of boxing. For undisputed, Deontay Wilder was the reigning WBC champion. Anthony Joshua was the unified champion, okay? Anthony Joshua is now 24 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout. One time in his career, he was knocked out. 32 years of age, 6'6", with an 82-inch arm reach, okay? He's going into a highly anticipated rematch. He recently lost his last fight to Alexander Usyk, okay? Now, he lost his titles. His first loss was June 1st of 2019. Like I said, getting stopped by Andy Ruiz. Then, most recently, September of last year, 2021, he lost a unanimous decision to Alexander Usyk, who is now the undefeated 2-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, former cruiserweight undisputed world champion, turning unified heavyweight world champion in Alexander Usyk. Okay, so now Anthony Joshua, August 20th of this year, he's going into next month. He's going into a rematch with Alexander Usyk, who Alexander Usyk is 19 wins, no losses, no draw, 13 wins by way of knockout, 35 years of age, 6'3" with a 73-inch arm reach. Okay, I mean 78-inch arm reach. Excuse me. So with that said, the fight is going to take place in August. Okay, so Deontay Wilder, everybody's wondering what's going to be his next move. Okay, everybody links him to Andy Ruiz Jr. Andy Ruiz Jr. has a fight coming up with a former foe of Deontay Wilder's in Luis King Kong Ortiz. So Andy Ruiz, he got to get past Luis King Kong Ortiz in his next fight. That's no walk in the park, and that's no guarantee. Andy Ruiz, 34 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout, 6'2" with a 74-inch arm reach. Okay, they're going to fight September 4th of this year. Okay. Luis King Kong Ortiz is 33 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 28 big wins by way of knockout. 2 times in his career, he was knocked out, both at the hands of Deontay Wilder. Okay, he's 43 years of age, 6'4", with a 78-inch arm reach. So this is a big fight for Andy Ruiz. It's a big fight for Luis Ortiz, right? Luis Ortiz got 2 title opportunities, both against Deontay Wilder. And after that, no big fights. Now, he did fight Malik King Scott. He did fight some credible names, but, you know, he hasn't fought any, you know, big fights outside of Deontay Wilder. So this is the biggest name in his resume, not named Deontay Wilder. So with that said, Deontay Wilder, he stated, I already did an interview with him when he had the statue reveal in his hometown of Alabama, and Deontay Wilder, he told me that he's making his ring return to sport of boxing. And he loves the sport of boxing. He's not in love with the business of the sport of boxing, but he's in love with the sport of boxing itself. And so with that said, he stated that he definitely is going to be making his ring return before the year is up. Now everybody is speculating who it could be. Well, we know Andy Ruiz and Ortiz is not on the table. He already fought Ortiz twice. We know Tyson Fury is not on the table. We know Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk are not on the table. Okay, not for Deontay Wilder to fight this year, maybe next year, but this year those guys are off the table. Okay, so with that said, now who's there available? I look at Robert Helenius. Robert Helenius is somebody who upset Adam Kalnacki, twice. Robert Helenius, is somebody, who, is Deontay Wilder's familiar with. It's a sparring partner of his. He's made his call. Deontay Wilder needs to get back in the ring. Robert Helenius, he is 31 wins, 3 losses, no draw, 20 wins by way of knockout. 6'6.5" with a 79-inch arm. He's 38 years of age. He shocked the world twice, back to back, when he TKO'd Adam Kalnacki, who was, a Polish fighter who was on the rise. That was March of 2020 when he knocked him out in the 4th round. Then in October of 2021, he knocked him out in the 6th round. Okay, that was shocking. So Robert Helenius is a major player. A name, a big name, not the biggest of names, but a big name. And so, I expect to see Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius before the year is up. Okay, I like that fight. It makes sense. Again, Tyson Fury, he's not available. Okay, Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk, they're not available. Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz, they're not available. Another name who's making a comeback is Jarrell Big Baby Miller, but he won't be available. Okay, and so Jared Big Baby Anderson, not ready. And so who is left? Robert Helenius. Robert Helenius makes all the sense in the world for Deontay Wilder's fight. And so I expect to see him fight Robert Helenius. A good test. Again, big guy. Who's has boxing ability, has power, who can move around the ring, high ring IQ, and coming off with 2 credible wins over Adam Kalnacki. Again, Adam Kalnacki was viewed as, the guy. He was coming into the fight, 20 wins, no loss, no draws, 15 wins by way of knockout. He have the Poland following, 6'3", 76-inch arm. He's 33 years of age. Everybody was on the Adam Kalnacki hype train, especially here in New York. He's from New York. He had a huge Poland fan here in New York. First fight took place at the Barclays Center in New York, and he was the heavy favorite to win the fight. And Robert Helenius, he upset Adam Kalnacki, right? So it just makes sense. 2 times he upset Adam Kalnacki. So it just makes sense. His stock is high right now. Adam Kalnacki's stock is, Robert Helenius' stock is high. And it's the perfect get-back fight for Deontay Wilder, who's coming off of a knockout loss. A rough trilogy, he's been in with Tyson Fury, and then a rough fight he was in with Luis Ortiz. So he fought Luis Ortiz twice and then Tyson Fury 3 times, 5 fights, right? Tough fight. So, for him to get, a tough fight, a good fight, a hard fight, and then, get back into the title talk next year, perfect fight, Robert Helenius. And when he addressed Anthony Joshua, he left the door open for that. He said he's always ready to fight Anthony Joshua. He's been ready to fight Anthony Joshua. It simply wasn't on his side that, held up the fight with Anthony Joshua. Because we know all the games that was being played with Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder saga, okay? Wanting the $50 million, then the $50 million available, then he turned down the $50 million, and then, the dates wasn't available. He had to fight his mandatory here. No rematch clause. They didn't want to give Deontay Wilder a rematch clause. So, it was a lot of unnecessary back and forth that held up the fight, and the fight never came to fruition. So, still, if Anthony Joshua was to beat Alexander Usyk, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua is still a big fight. Now, if Anthony Joshua is to beat Alexander Usyk, expect Anthony Joshua to pursue the Tyson Fury fight, right? And Tyson Fury can't travel, right? So Tyson Fury's options are limited. Now, it would make Tyson Fury, obviously, you know, they wanted to have the fight in the UK anyway. So it just makes sense that they have the fight in the UK. That's the fight that Anthony Joshua is going to more than likely pursue if he's victorious, okay? As well as Alexander Usyk. I believe Alexander Usyk will pursue the Tyson Fury fight as well. So we have to see how that unfolds and plays out, you know, moving forward, and what would be next for Deontay Wilder. You know, he's still a major player in the shuffle in the heavyweight division. So we just got to see. So it's exciting news. We already in July, so he stated he's going to be in Africa in October. Maybe his next fight is in Africa, right? He said he'll be in Africa in October for sure. So maybe his next fight is in Africa against Robert Helenius. Who knows? Let's see how it unfolds. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for you. Peace.